On the quiet, moonlit campus of Crescent Valley High, a young human named Alex walked across the deserted courtyard. He was just an ordinary student, nothing special really. But that night, he would change the course of history. The school had recently been a place of strange occurrences. Rumors whispered through the halls about an alien visiting Earth, but no one had ever seen her. Some said she was a government experiment. Others thought she was just a strange girl from another part of the world. But Alex knew the truth before anyone else did. He had always been a curious soul, often venturing into the woods behind the school, hoping to discover something unknown. It was on one of these late-night walks that he first encountered her. The girl was unlike anything Alex had ever seen. She wasn't human. Her skin shimmered like silver under the moonlight, and her large, bright eyes glowed an eerie purple. She was tall and graceful, her movements smooth and fluid, like she was from another world entirely. At first, Alex thought he had stumbled upon a dream or a hallucination. But when the alien girl spoke to him in perfect English, he realized she was very real. She introduced herself as Lyra, an alien from a distant galaxy, far beyond Earth's reach. "I'm lost," she said softly, her voice like a gentle breeze. "I came here by mistake, and now I don't know how to go back." Alex didn't know how to react at first. He could see the sadness in her eyes, the loneliness that seemed to hang around her like a dark cloud. But instead of running away or treating her like an outcast, Alex felt a strange sense of compassion. He offered to help her, despite knowing he couldn't possibly understand how to send her home. But the look of gratitude on her face made him feel like he had to do something, anything. He took her hand, promising to help. The days that followed were filled with secrecy. They met every night in the woods, and Alex did his best to learn about Lyra's world. She explained how her species, the Zephyrians, had evolved on a planet that orbited a star far away. They were peaceful beings, focused on knowledge and exploration. But somehow, Lyra had found herself stranded on Earth. "We don't have the technology to fix this," she confessed one evening, her voice barely above a whisper. "The ship is broken beyond repair." Alex didn't know much about alien technology, but he wasn't about to leave Lyra stranded. He started thinking about all the things he had learned from books and documentaries. Maybe he couldn't fix the ship, but there had to be something he could do to help her get back to her people. He spent the next few weeks learning everything he could about space travel, alien technology, and even theories on interdimensional travel. Slowly but surely, he managed to cobble together a plan, a risky one, but a plan nonetheless. The night he was ready to share his idea with Lyra, he met her as usual under the old oak tree in the woods. She stood there waiting, her alien eyes glowing softly in the dark. "I think I've found a way," Alex said, his voice full of excitement. "I'm going to build something that will help you get back home." Lyra's face lit up. "Are you sure?" she asked, hope filling her voice. "You really think you can do it?" Alex smiled, though he wasn't entirely sure himself. But seeing the trust in Lyra's eyes made him feel like he could do anything. They worked together, day by day, under the cover of night. Alex used every bit of knowledge he had to build the makeshift device, and slowly but surely, it started taking shape. One evening, after weeks of tireless work, the device was ready. It wasn't much to look at, a strange-looking metal structure, surrounded by wires and glowing lights. But Alex was confident. He had no idea if it would work, but he'd have tried his best. "Here we go," he muttered under his breath as he activated the device. The air around them hummed with energy, and for a moment, everything seemed to freeze. Lyra stood next to Alex, her eyes wide with anticipation. She reached out to touch the device, and as she did, a brilliant flash of light erupted from the machine. It was so bright that Alex had to shield his eyes. When the light faded, Lyra was standing before him, her eyes filled with tears. Alex blinked in confusion. Was it because the device had worked? Was she happy to be going home? But then he saw it. Lyra wasn't crying tears of joy. She was crying tears of sorrow. "No," she whispered, looking down at her hands, as if the reality of the moment had hit her. I don't want to leave." Alex's heart sank. He had never imagined this. He had been so focused on helping her return home that he hadn't stopped to consider her feelings. Lyra had been alone for so long, and despite her desire to return to her people, she had formed a bond with Alex, a bond stronger than the stars themselves. "You don't have to leave," Alex said softly, taking a step forward. "You can stay here. You're not alone anymore." But Lyra shook her head, her eyes brimming with tears. "I have to go. My people will be waiting for me. But you—" She paused, her voice quivering. "I will never forget you, Alex. You saved me. You gave me hope when I thought all was lost." With one last, lingering look, she turned toward the device. Before Alex could say anything else, she pressed a button, and the machine came to life again, sending her back to her galaxy, far away from Earth. Alex stood in the woods, silent and alone. He looked up at the stars, knowing that somewhere out there, Lyra was safe, but wishing she could have stayed a little longer. He realized in that moment that humanity had something powerful that no alien race could ever fully understand. The power of compassion, the ability to care for someone even when the odds were against you. And as the night grew darker, Alex smiled, knowing that despite the distance between them, he and Lyra would always share a connection that no time or space could ever erase.